Welcome back everybody to Planescape Torment. Okay, I've now moved into, let me see on the world map. We're still in the Hive. I'd like to get to the Ragpicker Square. We're still in here somewhere, more or less. But there was an interesting person I wanted to ever talk to. This Porphyrion might have something for us. Every inch of this man's skin is covered with a web of black lines. It is as if some artist chose to accentuate every crease of his flesh with a quill pen. The overall effect is such that even when his face shows no expression, he appears to be frowning. Greetings. This one has a name. This one is called Porphyrion. Porphyrion, yeah. The man's voice is like a gong as he speaks. The lines on his face bend and settle in a series of spherical patterns. This one would know. Why would you address this one? I want to ask some questions about the city. This one would have you know. This one cannot answer your questions. The lines on his face twist into angles and split into a mess of scribbles. This one has only recently stepped foot in this place of walls. Alright then, I have to ask you this. Why do you have those lines on your face? Or why do those lines on your face move? The lines show anger. Do you take offence? The lines slowly straighten, forming into gentle curves. No offence was meant. Will you accept the many apologies of this one? No offence taken. Why are you angry? This one tells of oh my goodness. Starting off an episode this badly? Wow. This one tells of event recent. Did you know that this one was beset by three? The three demanded an item of this one. This one feared an attack. What does this one do? This one surrounded the item. Well, you are right to be afraid. If there were three, they might have killed you, and you would not have given up the item. This one has misunderstood. The lines on his face become angled, then smoothed into curves again. This one did not fear being killed. This one feared killing the three. Well, if you could have killed them, why did you let them rob you? This one walks the path of the warrior. Many weapons have walked with this one. The fist, the blade, the staff, the hatchet, the smiter. These tools are known to this one. That's not much of an explanation. Again, if you're a warrior with that much training, why let them rob you? This one is forbidden to attack. The lines ripple across his face as he speaks. If this one had struck at the three in anger, the vow of non-violence would be unmade. A vow of non-violence? You're a warrior and a pacifist? This one is unfamiliar with your speech. What is pacifist? Never mind. Why did you train so much if you are not permitted to attack another? This one is the Order of Igrit Agi. We wait the final days where we will be called into battle. The training and the skills of this one, they are to be kept silent until then. In the meantime, you will let yourself be robbed in the street without defending yourself? This one will clarify. The item is of value. The disciple of the Igrit Agi is of greater value. Since you won't fight, any chance you would talk to these thieves in returning to your item? This one addresses the three thieves. What happens? The requests of this one are met with scorn. The three will not return the item. I could see if I could get the item back for you. This one must ask, would you bring violence to the three that have robbed this one? Not if I can help it. This one fears. A message absent of violence will not be understood. The lines of the man's face form into a series of ellipses. This one is not opposed to you trying. Alright then, what is this item you've lost? This item is this. A rope of black and a red prayer beads worn around the neck. The worth of these beads is not measured in copper. The worth of these beads is measured in faith. Alright then, I'll see if I can find this necklace. Do you know where these three thugs might be? This one knows where the angry words were traded and the item lost. By the bar that burns inside, the three were outside this place, dressed in black and red. 3 robbers dressed in black and red outside a bar that burns on the inside. Can't be too hard to find. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Oh, another quest? Really? That's the flop house. World map? Oh, that's not going to help me much either. Huh. So... Right. So we've got Hive Thugs. I'm just picking up quests left, right and centre. And I'm not really getting anywhere. I mean, I could go into the FOP house, but I got a feeling I'm going to pick up another quest. I want to start getting rid of the quests I've already got. You know?
I'm gone.
So let's wander around. Okay, Hive Dwellers. That seems to be a thug that's running away. Collectors. This looks to be a way up to Ragpicker Square. Okay, we might be able to get somewhere there. Right. Okay, is there... I love the fact that we're healing. Let's have a look at the map. Okay, not much to see so far.
Done.
Okay. Marrow friend. You can smell the reek of dung and rotting meat on this man, even from afar. Though obviously weak and decrepit, his long, thin fingers and sunken eyes give him a sinister look as he scuttles through the garbage around him. The way he drools and rolls his eyes make you wonder if he's mad. Greetings? He tries to focus on you, but his gaze wanders. His eyes are set deeply in hollow sockets, and his skin is a terrible pale and diseased, covered with rashes and yellow patches that look ready to peel from his body at any moment. The stench emanating from him is terrible. As you open your mouth to speak, he licks his lips and swallows. You deader? Are you alright? You, he licks his lips again, and his long, spindly fingers pick at his skin as he stares at you. You deader? He glances to your left. His eyes then dart back at you. Dead? Dead? Hungry. He reaches to you and touches, licking his scabrous lips. Okay. His fingers scrabble spider-like on your arm as if looking for a piece to tear off. He licks his split lips again, and you watch yellowish drool drip from them. With a raspy moan, his fingers suddenly dig into the skin on your arm and pull off a bit. Step back. You watch and you feel your stomach churn as he takes the bit of flesh and shoves it into his mouth. He chews it softly, then swallows. You dead? No, I'm not dead. You taste dead. He scratches himself beneath his robe, and you suddenly notice he has a finger hanging from his neck on a cord. There looks to be that there is a ring on it. Still hungry. What do you usually eat? He makes a snuffling noise like a pig. Dead. What is that finger bone? He looks down, his plague-ridden features twisting into a ghastly, snaggletooth parody of a grin. Snack. He looks ready to chew on it. Don't eat that. Have a bite off me instead. I'm more fresh. I don't know why I'm doing this, but he smiles and reaches at your outstretched hand. Give me the finger bone first, marrow friend. He nods greedily and he lets you take the finger bone. I suppose, let him bite me. His teeth sink into the meat of your forearm and pulls a chunk with a single wrench of his neck. The pain is excruciating, but Marrow Friend sits on his haunches as if nothing had happened, chewing noisily at the mouthful of meat he pulled away. Thanks. Farewell. We now have a finger bone. Well decayed, nearly meatless finger, blah 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 blah, oddly enough. So this has a ring on it of some description. Can I use it? This is a well-decayed and nearly meatless finger bone from a humanoid of roughly your size. There is still some odd ring on the finger. It is an intricate thing, sculpted from dozens of tiny ornate flanges and decorative protrusions. Can I pull the ring from the finger? Try as you might, you cannot remove the ring. It's almost as if the ring's sharp edges have dug into the lifeless finger itself and refused to release it. You have an odd feeling about it, however. Okay, this is going to be weird. Remove my own finger and replace it with the finger bone. You place the ring finger of your left hand in your mouth, close your eyes and take a deep breath, and bite down as hard as you can. There is a sickening crunch, and you are overcome with the taste and smell of blood. You spit the bloody finger out and place the rotted, ring-laden finger bone against the gushing stump. At first, nothing happens, and you are horrified at the thought of what you've just done. Suddenly, you feel a strange tingling sensation as the bones fuse and the tendons re-knit. In moments, the rotting finger bone has become a living part of your body, although it still throbs painfully. The jagged ring suddenly loosens and slips off in the palm of your hand. Okay. I have no idea what that is just done. Memphis Biting Ring. Ooh. +2 to armor class. Hell yeah. Was a mage obsessed with the possibility of having a magic items be lost or burgled while asleep or otherwise incapacitated. While the vast majority of her carry possessions were inseparable from a corpse, thus buried with her, some of the weaker items, early experiments, plus blah blah blah. Okay, meant by his ring, whose powerful aura protects its bearer from bodily harm. I would like to put this on my finger. It's a cursed item. Okay. Having a cursed item with +2 armor class, I'm good for. Oh, yes. Okay.
Done.
Extra armor class is good. I will take this. Well and truly, collector. Okay, more...
I'm gone.
Unnamed people. Yellow fingers. I don't know. Collector? Nod. Let's go talk to Nod. You approach the hooded brown robed man as he's mumbling to himself softly and occasionally nodding. Greetings. Someone comes to speak to Nod. Speak to Nod, aye. He suddenly breaks into a fit of hacking coughs and nods to himself. What are you doing? Nothing, except looking for debtors. Nothing else. He sniffs and gives another hacking cough. He mumbles for a moment, then speaks again. Nothing else. Need the jink. Jink, jink. Why are you looking for corpses? He starts nodding without really looking at you. Haul them back to the place, the mortuary. He tilts his head back and forth and nods again. They're the dusties. They haggles and gives you jink. Takes your debtor in. And they do, aye. And Nod don't talks to them next to the body. He sniffs, wiping his nose with the back of his hand. Why do they pay you for the corpses? He shrugs. No matter, no matter, he smiles and nods sagely. Jink for me, jink, jink. I have some questions. He nods. What? He sniffs and squints at you. Jink. He taps his hand, points at you, points at his hand. You want to know something? Jink. Aye, jink, jink. Alright, I'm going to be generous. Dump 10 coppers. We got 284, should be alright. Jink for Nod, jink jink, he mumbles for a moment, holding the copper coins in the folds of his robes. Ask Jink. Ask Nod tries to answer. Aye, he coughs for a bit, spitting something off to the side. Do you ever know of a man named Farad? He looks frightened and starts to shake his head. Farad. He scratches his head. What? What about him? He frowns and shakes his head. He's not sure he should be speaking with you. Do you know where I can find him? Shakes his head, then mumbles and glances quickly at you and begins to murmur again to himself. Sounds like he's uttering a prayer against evil. Not here. In square, he frowns, as if unsure to explain it. But not in the square. He shakes his head again and coughs. Tell me about the area. He points to the ground, nodding. The square? Ragpicker Square? Trash everywhere, aye. Sharegrave Square. He mumbles to himself for a moment. Tell me about Sharegrave. Sharegrave's shadow long, falls over Nod. It does, aye. Nod gives some of his jink to Sharegrave. Sharegrave tells other in his shadow, watch out for Nod, aye. He sniffs, nodding slowly. I'm looking for a journal that I've lost. You never know. No, he shakes his head vigorously. No journal. He sniffs, wiping his nose with his sleeve. If I ask that again... Tell me about this area? No, we've done that. Well, that's all we wish to know. Farewell. He shakes his head and coughs and resumes his nodding. Yeah, ask for Nod, aye. Nod ask ye. Ask for a question, aye. Go in, ask your question. Nod has sister, aye. Amaris. Lives in the hive. Away from here. Away from the square. So long ago, Nod was separated from his sister. Taken away. So your question is...
Updated my journal.
You don't know her? He shakes his head sadly for a moment, chewing his lower lip. If you sees her, if he does, tell Nod her brother worries about her. Aye, he does. He worries. Why don't you go find her? No! Nod covers his head with his arms, mumbling to himself. Nod can't speak no more. He can't, nay, and he smells of corpses in the dirt of the square, Ragpicker Square. No! The outburst sends him into a fit of hacking coughs. What happened to you, Nod? Nod sniffs, looking at the ground quietly. Finally he begins nodding to himself and speaking softly. Nod was young. Aye, he was starting to hear voices telling Nod to do this, do that, bad things, bad like chewing on Nod's fingers. He holds his hands to his face. You can see old bite scars beneath the caked on filth. Go on. So Nod's parents takes him away, they does. Puts him in dark place, a winged tower where they pokes and needles and hooks into Nod's head. Voices stop, aye, they do. But Nod can't think right. He can't talk right. Nod escapes the place, he does. Wakes up in the hive, aye. So where is this winged tower? Dunno. Bad place, bad. He shakes his head violently, clutching at his temples before resuming his usual nodding. Okay, go on with your story. Nod wakes up and there's Collector's Eye. Collector's poking at Nod saying, look, not a debtor. Debtor he's not. Take him back. Takes him. And they takes Nod back. They does. Back to the square. So long years ago. Alright, I'll find your sister for you. Nod thanks you, he does. Nod thanks you. Amaris was pretty. So pretty, lives in the hive now. Fair skin she was, hair like jet, and always in blue. Blue. She always in blue. Farewell, Nod.
Updated my journal.
All the quests! You know, if I collect all the quests, I'm bound to actually solve one of them at some point. Yeah, I suppose we'll talk to the yellow fingers. This weaselly-looking fellow is skulking around the garbage like a tattered shadow. Seeing you and Mort, he beckons to you. Hey, the skull. Where'd you get the skull, eh? Me skull it is. Give it back to me. Mort turns to the hiver. Pike off. I'm going to say this is not your skull. You're calling me a liar, eh? Skull's mine. Mine. He mumbles for a moment, his eyes rolling and darting. You're the thief spitting lies. I got ye. I wouldn't try it. The man glances at you, eyes narrow. It doesn't look like he's too sure of his chances. He mumbles a bit, but doesn't do anything. Me skull, you're a thief stealing. Truth. Okay, if you can prove the skull to me that the skull's yours, then I'll give it to you. It's only fair. He stares at you for a moment like you're addled. It's piking mine, talking proof, don't know nothing. Give me my skull back, now! Who are you? Skull's mine, eh? Give it to me. I'll forget you stole it. He mumbles, his narrowed eyes darting. What proof do you have that this is your skull? Okay, yeah, we're going back around in circles. Just forget you ever saw it. Farewell.
Done.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in talking to that guy. Now, is there anywhere else around this map I could probably look at? It looks really, really claustrophobic. Although, there is a little room in here. Oh, hello. Old Macbeth. This squat old woman looks like she has the colour bled out of her. Everything from her hair to her shawl to her robe. All are shades of grey. There are only splotches of colour on her, come from several strange herbs which are tied to her belt by their stalks. The herbs are making a strange swish when she moves, like a broom. Greetings. The elderly woman turns and stares at you. You notice the grey shades blanketing her body extend to her features as well. Her hair is a wispy grey, and her eyes are like chips of granite. She frowns when she sees you. And who might you be, I really don't know who I am. So ye not know yourself, child? She squints, then points at your chest. Hard to piece together the man between all that tracery and scrawling scars, is it? Maybe. Who are you? With a sly cackle, she wags her eyebrows. Have ye not heard of old Macbeth, the midwife of the square? Have ye not now? She narrows her eyes and her face droops. Well, now ye have, for I be Macbeth. You're a midwife? What do you do?
Updated my journal.
I set bones right, drive the cough out of the sick, yank the squealing stubborn babes, mend clothes or rag or two, make cures and herbs and other such. She squints at you, studying your scars. Be needing a cure or three, do ye? Cures? Aye, you be needing some cures to looking at ya. Do you want to buy some, do ye? She glances at the scars covering your body again, then shrugs. Too late to be asking for them, I think. Actually, I could just do with a place to rest. Would you mind if I slept here? Of course, child. Have a mess of blankets in the corner, that would serve. That would be fine, thank you. Yay! We have finally slept, and time doth pass. We've rested for 8 hours. You awake, feeling refreshed. Macbeth is puttering round the hut, but she turns when she hears you stir. Awake are ye? You slept like the dead, she smiles. Do no dreams stir your head? I didn't have any dreams at all. Macbeth shrugs. Nothing odd about that. Most dreams are shy. They fly when the sleeper's eyelids open. No, but it doesn't feel like I forgot them. I don't think I dreamed anything. It feels wrong. Macbeth chews that over, then shrugs. Dreams can make men great, but they have laid low just as many. Maybe you're better off without them nettling ya. Maybe, but I don't think so.
Updated my journal.
Macbeth snorts. Well, dreams or no, I'm not one to change the nature of a man. Have you slept enough? Yeah, we'll have a look at the other questions. Are you a witch, Macbeth? Macbeth scrutinises you. I say naught to what I am and isn't. But what you be wanting to know so full bad for the hounding an old woman, barking and sniffing for a juicy bit of gossip? I don't really want to learn about magic. No. I'm not really the magic type. I would like to actually learn like other weapon proficiencies if I could. Do you know someone named Farad? Farad? That. You, as you watch Macbeth spits once, twice, 3 times, then follows it by making a semicircle over her heart. That gull turd. What you be wanting with the likes of him? I need to find him. Do you know where he is? He's not in Ragpicker Square. That much I can tell you. You need to find a way under the square to get to that turd Spider Kips. She spits again. Even talking about him leaves a foul taste, it does. He's under the square? She jabs her finger at the floor. Aye, he's buried under these piles of trash. Him and his boys. And a tough time you have digging him out of his nest. She shakes her head. Let it be, child. Let be. I need to find him. How do I get down there?
Updated my journal.
Macbeth frowns and sighs. Here tell. Farad's got a gate that leads to his nest somewhere here in the square. It's just a matter of finding it. You might want to ask some of the others, some who have travelled a bit more than old Macbeth. I see. Okay, that's all I wish to know. Farewell. We're healed up. Yay, and it looks like it is kind of like daytime. Yeah, it's daytime too. So next episode won't be so blue. It'll be all brown instead. Alright folks, if you've enjoyed the episode, enjoyed the series thus far, do go ahead and click that like button for me. And if you're interested in anything else I've done in the past, check out some of the playlists off to the side there. I've been Raetac. I shall see you next time.